2025 Shriners Children's Hospital Clearwater Invitational presented by Evo Shield. Nightcap here from Clearwater. It's the 9th-ranked Florida State Seminoles coming in winners of their last 6, taking on Wichita State out of the American here. Games galore continue from the Eddie Seymour Complex as comes in this season. The junior, 4 2/3 inning pitch thus far, making the start here tonight. And half swing there, and right there is Isa Torres seasons ago. The 2-2 puts it on the ground. Nice backhand there from Widra over at second base, and 2 away, a spot that we were used to seeing Devin Flaherty as runners up in the American, and didn't get a chance to make their regional run like usual as this went into the outfield, and great play by Kennedy Harp. The running grab from Harp, and she has been sensational. 7 RBI in the process. 3-2, and Torres lifts it into center, and 1 down.
Good example of Ava Sliger just
and woo, took the ACC and the country by storm. The chopper over, handled by Solonchek over at short. And 2 big bats retire quickly here. Swagger on 100,000 trillion. You see her slugging numbers have been amazing, and this one bounces it back up the middle, and a 2-out single. 4 kick base for the team this weekend, and the grounder deep into the shortstop hole, and an RBI produced on that one from Michaela Edenfield. FSU on the board.
For as much as we talked about the home runs and how they've played a factor for Florida State, just being able to manufacture runs, that's what you just saw. Kennedy Harp advancing when that throw went out into center field, and Michaela Edenfield busting hard out of the box to beat out this infield single to bring across the first run of the ball game.
7 RBIs.
Discipline in this at-bat.
And the walk, so after retiring the first 2 batters, a couple of singles. Player, a slow start this weekend, but the one hit that she did have, a home run, this one grounded out over the first base, and the inning is done. But Edenfield drives.
Done with her staff for several years now is find ways to utilize them as a starter, as a middle reliever, even as a closer in certain situations.
This one lifted into center field. Kennedy Harp is there, and 1 down.
And there have been other pro stat sheet that had quality at bats, was hitting the ball hard, just right to defenders in their opening weekend.
Looking for her first hit of the Invitational, and there it is right there. Perfectly laid drag bunt. The 1-2 from Reed. And Beckerly gets a handle of this one, but Harp is there, and 2 away.
Good
so
swing.
Harp's been busy.
Yeah, good swing by Beckerly. Just
runner at first, Sammy Hood looks on. And once more into the outfield, and Harp can't get this one. Pops out of the glove, and Wichita State's gonna even up this game. Well, first hit of the weekend from Seton, and it's 1-1.
How about this swing, driving it so far out into the right center gap, and we were just talking about how much ground Kennedy Harp has been able to cover. That one goes off of her glove, moves further over into right field, but Sammy Hood's easily going to be able to come around and score in time.
And solid contact, drives it all the way to the wall. It's rolling, and a stand-up double, an RBI for Caroline Talent. Wichita State takes the lead.
Talk about the keys to the game for Wichita State, needing the bottom half of the order to produce. Well, they've come through with back-to-back extra base hits to give them the lead in the top of the second inning. Started with Seton with that triple, and then Caroline Talent.
Nelson, an inside out swing, and Issa Torres is trailing back to catch that one, but not before Wichita State. And runway to succeed this year. Nicely handled by Talent over at first base. And all Florida State does is just retool with some new pieces and return a very strong core. Ian McKenzie is retired. Weidra the bunt right back to the pitcher, and Weidra beats it out.
Runner on board here for the top of the order.
Sharply hit, but right there was Solonchek to get the line out. So good flash of the leather, strong defense behind the freshman Sliger. In the bottom half of the lineup, as you talked about. And skies this one into shallow center field. Tough for Weidra to handle from second base. And Eck lands. This one sees Janai Kerr collect the first down.
Big out for Apsell. After that leadoff runner gets all the way over into scoring position, you go after it as a batter. It's not something that you can really get solid barrel on.
And this one driven into the outfield. Kennedy Harp is there. Runner thought about tagging. Instead, Eck stays put. Eck waiting at second. Had that leadoff double, and this one misses for ball 4. So the walk to Solonchek.
But now all of a sudden you've got a little bit going here in the top of the third.
And this one beams Hood, so she will trot to first base, and that loads them.
For Ton, a couple pitches ago.
The 0-2, right back up the middle, and more production with 2 outs for the Shockers. 2 more come across. Caitlin Beckerly.
After a pitch on the outer half, when maybe the call before is not necessarily something you want to go after, you get into a 2-strike count. So what do? You go after the pitches and hunt the pitches that are on the outside part of the plate. This one elevated just a little bit more, and she smacks it right back up the middle.
Already notched a win earlier today against Liberty, their first here in Clearwater. Once more, instead, the 6-3 put out Torres over to Ross, and that does it. But
just such a sweet swing, able to recognize the off-speed pitch, drive it well out of the yard.
And Beecham strikes out, so Sliger, who has gotten off to a great start.
She wants to know exactly what that strike zone's looking like back there.
Smacked in a tough hop over the head of the shortstop Solonchek, and Kennedy Harp keeps on ticking. 8 games, she's had a base hit. Kayla Edenfield, who had that RBI single and sends it in the left. So back-to-back base hits. Awaits the pitch. First pitch swinging it. The nice job that we have seen Caroline Talent do at first base. She's had to handle a few grounders away.
A couple of them coming really hard her direction to this ball game. Makes it fun though, right?
Yep. If you're Ava Sliger though, you're probably not loving it too much, or if you're in the circle, but this one induces a ground ball. Sliger handballs. This one, does it stay in the park near the bleachers, and Kerr holds on to it in foul territory. It looked like it popped out of the glove, but she was still able to concentrate and keep it.
Had to run a long way over into foul territory down that left field line. Catches it initially. Watch it pop out of her glove here, right back into her glove. The concentration.
The fun that you mentioned from Coach B. and they're feeling it. They're bringing the energy here. Is this one? Sees Nelson retired. Eck, first pitch swinging. And a 1-2-3 inning for Julia Axel. We'll talk with the Knowles head. We're seeing a little bit more balance from the Seminoles as it continues to grow. As that one well hit, but right into the glove of Lauren Lucas and right into Amaya. Shelby McKenzie. And over the third, the dive there from Talon, and is able to tag the base before. Annabelle Wedra swings at this one, and coming in, charging, and Eliek gets it. 1-2-3 inning, and Sliger doing an outstanding job. So is her defense. They're still on top.
Home run from Audrey Vandegrift, but it was that 6th inning where things started to unravel for Alabama, and UCLA comes on top.
This one lifted deep into the outfield and over the fence. In center field, Lauren Lucas leads it off with a home run. A solo shot for Lucas, her 3rd of the season.
Lauren Lucas showing off the power up at the plate in the very back of the box, and she gets a really good piece of this one. The contact point out in front, able to get that extension and that carry on the softball to get all the way out over the center field wall, extend this.
Against Mizzou earlier this weekend, now with the full count, and that one's put into the air by Epperson, and she's the first out of the inning. Pitch from Frantic, the 0-2, and gets the batter swinging. So and good contact into fair territory on the left field line, and Sammy Hood with a 2-out single.
And you're seeing with these swings, since Frantic has been in the ball game, and they know she likes to mix speeds a lot, almost.
The 1-2. And Beckerly goes down swinging. A couple of strikeouts here, but not before.
Torres hit it hard. Her last at bat went right to Solacek at shortstop.
Another hard hit through the 3-4 hole, and she is aboard safely with a leadoff single.
Another one on the ground, too.
Alameda says, let's not try to repeat. Let's just be our best. And there is a great swing right there from Jason E. Beecham. And Beecham all the way to the fence. The RBI double for Jason E. Beecham. And here come the Seminoles.
Ava Sliger got ahead in the count. I was wondering if she was going to go back to that curveball that she struck Jason E. Beecham out on in her previous at-bat, but she goes with the off-speed pitch, and look at how perfectly timed up Jason E. Beecham is for that off-speed. Just a couple of inches away from a home run out to center.
For the freshman, because the 3rd time through the order, typically a little bit harder, and Kennedy Harp, who's been swinging the ball so well. Oh my goodness! Got all of it. Just like that. Florida State roaring back into this one off the swing of Kennedy Harp, continuing her electrifying start for the 2025 campaign.
She just keeps on adding to that extra base hit tally so far this season, up to 4 home runs for Kennedy Harp, and she turns on this pitch. It's an inside pitch, so quiet yet explosive at the same time, uses her hips, drives through that softball. A big...
She'll face is the leader, captain, and Edenfield, the catcher. And the hot shot down the right field line, and Edenfield and the Seminoles all seeing the ball. Payoff pitch. Waycaser jammed, And one down. Now, what does Janai Kerr learn? So this freshman battery looking to retire. Kerr, the 1-2, and another solid base hit. So leading off this inning, a single by Torres, Jason E. Beecham. And this one hits Ross, so that's gonna load the bases now. Doesn't swing. RBI walk for Katie Dack, and it's a tie ball game. And now we move. Decide to enter the transfer portal. And come on over to the Knolls, and that one is into the right center gap. Annabelle Riedra still motoring around, a bases clearing triple, and Florida State grabs the lead back for the first time since the opening frame.
Bases loaded. She was really living on the outside part of the plate, and Annabelle Riedra, look at the way that her even front foot is stepping across towards the outside part of that strike zone. She gets around this pitch 55 miles per hour and drives it out into that right center gap. 3 more runs for the Seminoles.
Torres into the opposite field, fly ball, and 2 down.
Good job of just mixing spots there, trying to show a different.
And Beecham tattoos this one into center field, but right underneath it is Epperson for out number 3.
And we talked about this earlier for Wichita State, but when your team puts up runs, when they give you the lead, getting that first out is so important.
Beecham handles it over at third base and 1 down. Curious to know, Madison, in terms of, what you've been
coming through with that huge home run, walk-off home run.
And Caroline Talent goes down swinging.
Jazzy Francis trying to drive the ball out of the ballpark. It can be hard to sometimes slow that rhythm down in the batter's box.
This one over to Christina Hartley, inserted in at second base, and 1, 2, 3 inning for arms to break in, and Coach Brett Benner tossing out some freshmen here. That one inside to Hart for the leadoff walk. Field 3 for 3 tonight, and this one screaming off the bat into left field and out of here. Edenfield with another home run, her 3rd of the season. We talked about the powerful bats of Florida State. The home run ball has served them well this weekend, and Michaela Edenfield has sent a few flying this weekend.
Goes right after the changeup too. You can hear the way the softball just comes off of Michaela Edenfield's bat. It just sounds different. Sitting changeup in. They were coming.
Yep.
Right?
And this one hits Allie Waycaser as she takes first base. And that's what we've seen from
The first 2 weekends of this season. And no panic in this team either when they're down in these ball games.
And Addie DeLong, the pinch runner, who takes off, and she's now in scoring position. And see what that
Yes,
that whole
too.
experience
Me
would
too.
even be like. That's Janai Kerr, lays down the sack bunt and moves DeLong over the third and 60 feet closer. This one opposite field, drops for Ross, brings home the run. DeLong tags and scores the 11th run of this one for
One right on the money. It just happens to go to a defender out in right field. The next time up, maybe you don't get it square on the sweet spot of the bat, but it still finds its way dropping out into right field.
Dak right back, and high throw from the circle. culture, and these are some of the tough matchups. You circle Texas A&M coming up next on February 22nd as that loads the bases, but you've got Alabama, Oregon, of course, Duke in conference.
Oregon, another team.
Certainly be in that mix. Florida State, one of them, and this one from Isa Torres ends the ball game. Grand slam action. My. It's a walk-up of a run rule victory from Florida State, third this weekend.
And it's another home run. Just add that to the tally for the powerful bats that you're seeing from the Seminoles. Put up a 7-spot in the 5th inning, another 7-spot in the 6th inning to end this ball game early. Isa Torres, that sweet swing coming from the left side, just times this pitch up perfectly, sends it out to dead center field. A grand slam to end this ball game in the 6th inning.
Florida State will face off against UCF.
Florida State came alive late. They put up a run in the first. Wichita State gave them everything that they could throw at them. Had the run or had the lead until Florida State erupted. Second largest comeback this season. And the Seminoles, winners of 7 straight. They'll have a big one tomorrow night against UCF to close out this event for Madison Shipman